Very exciting day. It is the day after we both saw Tiger 3. So we've had time to think about it. We both posted non-spoiler first impressions, basically. So you got us fresh out of theater all excited. Hello and welcome to Cinemondo with Kathy and Melanie from Per Daisy Reviews.
I mean, I do. So if you hadn't gotten it, what we're going to discuss here is full of spoilers. If you haven't seen the film, there are many nice surprises in the film. People that come back, finding out who does die, which are meaningful deaths. So don't watch this if you haven't seen the film, because really you're going to enjoy it more. And even I saw Salman Khan tweeted before, you know, the day the film released, and he was like, please don't spoil all the small surprises. And,
which in a way spoiled his own.
No, but I'm just saying there's more. Nice. There's more than just the fact that yes, there was a Shah Rukh Khan cameo, right? There's more than that, and which characters came back and whatever. Like, I think it would take something away. Like, I had such pleasure when Hassan, the little kid that he rescued, and the second Tiger film shows up. Like, and then was heartbroken when he died. I was just like,
I have some issues with that little plot.
I have some issues with that too. Okay, but I would just say, it was a pleasure each time a character from a previous film came back, and it was like, oh, they're getting the band all back together, you know. And the fact that I remember watching the second film and thinking, okay, these two spies have a kid, they have whatever electrical. You know, security or whatever. But what happens? Like, their kid is a target. Like, that should be an issue, and that was the huge issue of this film, and bringing that character in. And it's like, okay, exactly. You know?
I mean, they seemed a little cavalier considering who they are and who their kid is. I thought they were a little, but that's okay. I'm giving him. As a universe, like I was saying, as a Tiger movie, those are all the things just sort of built in. You just take it for granted.
See, Kathy knows she's an expert now. That I made her watch the first two
all in a row. So I
was just like, Tiger 3 is coming out, but you have to watch the other ones, or you're not. And admit it, you did enjoy it more because
I did.
You would not have been like, oh, it's those Pakistani guys from the second film. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it means something when you see these certain characters coming back.
It really does. It really does. And knowing the background when you're watching it in the context, so that there's sort of a shorthand when you're watching it, so you already get the information. They don't have to spoon feed it to you. They gave you a little extra background on the Pakistani kid,
right?
But they pretty much, like, you had to kind of know the in jokes already. They didn't try and oversell it, which I thought was really smart, because they know he has a fan base. This is for fans. They did fan service. They did great stuff.
Oh yeah.
So my theater was crowded.
I went to a very early show, and mine was only about a third few, but I'm not sure people were really aware, because it was advertised as coming out on Diwali, which is today, Sunday, and not the Saturday, but it ended up coming out on Saturday in the US. And I went to a morning show, so I don't think everyone was completely aware. But yeah, at least I did have a crowd, and I wasn't the only one going, woo!
I know. And also, morning shows are what I prefer to go to, because I want to have less crowds. Like, I want to have good seats. I don't want people behind me kicking my seat. Theater's like my church. I don't want anybody messing with me in my church. I go there.
The people in my family and friends laugh at me because I have my certain seats. You know, in America, there's like sort of an aisle, and there's way forward seats, but I like to be 2 rows back, center from, there's like a railing. Like, I'm the same. That is my place, center. And now America didn't used to have assigned seats in theaters when you bought your ticket. I love it. Which is a new thing that has happened in the last few years, and I love it, because I had booked my Tiger ticket like, you know, almost a week ahead of time, when I was like checking when it was going to be out. I'm like, I'm booking it.
I booked mine too. I booked it ahead of time.
I might want my seat.
And I make sure and look around, make sure there's no one around me, you know. I make sure it's like, even though I check it sometimes to make sure, but then I'll sometimes, you know, move depending on, you know, as the movie starts, if someone ends up behind me or something. I'm very, very weird about it. And I hear people chewing like all the way in the back of the theater. I cannot stand it. And I get my large popcorn, and no one gets any of it. Keep your mitts off. It's all mine. my thing. It's my favorite food.
Well, this was definitely a popcorn movie.
It was.
You say? I mean, it's just full of action.
Right from the top.
Right from the top. Right from the top. And when you see the scarf, the whole thing, Tiger, like
the fashion shoot of him swinging his scarf around,
and the music. I mean, this is literally one of the best theme songs, not only of any cinema. It just like
I still have it in my head.
Right? It just revs you up.
It's like Mission Impossible. You hear that refrain, you know it's Tiger instantly.
Exactly.
It's so iconic.
That is a really great comparison because it is iconic as that to me.
And the movie is very Mission Impossible to me. It felt very Mission Impossible. It had a lot of locations. It had all the intrigue and the digital and the surveillance and the crew that he hooks up with, who that kind of comedy relief in a way, but then they also know their shit. It was great. It was good. But they also have Katrina Kaif, which technically Tom Cruise never really has. So that's an improvement. So I loved her.
I mean, one of the key things of why I do love these films is because of the chemistry of Katrina and Salman. And they just have something magical when they're together. And also she's a complete badass.
Love it. Because you don't see that. You don't see it in many movies. You don't get to see the woman be just as capable as the man. And I loved her cool leather pants and her chunky boots. And it's her outfit, her cool leather motorcycle outfit was so cool. She's the best.
I literally said, whoa, out loud in the theater when she did. It's almost like a signature move for her, when she wraps her thighs around somebody's neck and then just kind of spirals around.
She's like leaning back, shooting everyone around. It was so good.
Oh, it's amazing.
It was an awesome scene. It was so good.
You and I were probably rolling our eyes a little bit at the girl on girl fight with just towels on. I'm like,
when I'm watching that, and there was that great scene in the trailer where the towel kind of unravels and they're both kind of fighting over it. And suddenly it's back on. I'm like, it was perfectly put back on. It was tied up neat and tidy. I'm like, how? When did this happen? I don't remember seeing anybody pull the tie back on. I mean, at least that was a Viggo Mortensen film.
Yeah.
What was the name? Where he does that fully nude fight.
Oh yeah.
The insane camera angles trying to work around that.
It's like Eastern Promise.
Yes.
Oh my, that is like
craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. So,
okay, I gotta send you a K-drama scene. There's a K-drama called K2 that has an amazing shower fight where he's like squirting the shampoo and whatever to make the guy slide around. Like, it's amazing.
Oh my god, that's so good.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the point is nobody has a weapon, right? The only weapon that you have is your body. Yeah. And how good are you at martial arts, right?
And it was two women fighting in a really badass fight, which is another really cool, iconic thing that you just don't see very often in any films, Western, anything. So I like seeing that she was a super strong woman. She still had her motherly, thing. They gave her little moments with her kid, the tenderness, but she was a badass and just as capable. And I also, I love the song where he doesn't trust her. Like, you think she's cheating or something, where she's They keep showing that and he's following around like a total creeper. Like, don't just ask her. She's a spy, dude. So, and then when he finds out it's just like for a present for the kid, he was like feeling like such a jerk, And I'm like, is that really a present or is it a gun? I can't.
Right. Is
it though? I don't know. That was really cute too. The movie had a sense of humor. And I like that. It didn't take itself too seriously.
It was winking at us quite a few times.
But tons of great action. Like the opening scene, when you're talking about the motorcycle. A lot of people complain a little bit of CGI here and there. But, mostly I thought the CGI was pretty much spot on. There were a couple. But I don't try to look for those things. I don't care if I see a little bit of a rim on somebody who's supposed to be flying through the sky, or a little bit of disconnect with some environment. I don't care. I know it isn't real. I'm not expecting them, So, but that motorcycle thing going up those little tiny skinny stairs, and I was just getting such vertigo watching. Holy shit. And that's like the first 5 minutes or something. I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be crazy.
I think they saved kind of the best action sequence for the Shah Rukh cameo, which I think was true in Pathaan as well. Like the best was when Tiger showed up in Pathaan. And I loved how they mirrored that, right?
Yes, they did.
Pathaan needed rescuing, so Tiger was there. Tiger needed rescuing, so Pathaan was there for him.
I love that.
So I love that that was mirrored. And when we reached the interval point, and my theater does have an intermission, and I'm like, it's going to be right after the interval. Like, I just knew, I'm like, we haven't seen Shahrukh yet. They're going to save it for right after the interval. And I was right. And I think that was part of, I mean, just showing them swinging on cables in sync, landing in sync, like,
I love that.
Okay, and my favorite line of the entire film was you take the parachute, your hair looks better blowing in the wind.
So funny. I loved it. I mean, those two together are so good. I'm like, why aren't they in a movie full time all the time together? Like, why have they not made a movie together?
Because they're both too big. They're both too big.
Yeah, but true, but so
right. I guess so everyone in the comments is starting to scream about the movies that they have been in together.
Okay, I know.
So
that's true. I guess I mean in this universe. I guess I'm talking about, like,
they, I mean, but it's decades ago. Okay, it's decades. So it is lovely that they are at least doing cameos.
Yeah.
And it was an extended sequence. It wasn't like a blink and you miss it. It was they lingered.
They gave him
I was
lot
very happy.
do.
They gave him a lot to do. It was a really nice, extensive action sequence. I was very happy. That was my favorite part of the entire thing.
I think that was definitely the highlight. I said it in my little solo review, where this is probably the best the movie ever got. It never really got to that point. Like, it was all fun, but that was clearly the pinnacle. And then the rest of it was below that, but it was still high. I mean, I still thought the movie was super fun action film. I mean, but that was by far, I mean, everything about it, the sense of humor that Shahrukh brings to everything. I love when he cuts the cable.
Oh, the chemistry that they have with each other.
And that thing sliding down the hill and he goes, it'll stop soon. It'll stop soon. So funny. Everything he does is funny, and he does it with such just effortlessly, not even trying too hard. You just feel like it's natural, but they were fantastic together, really in sync, really worked well together. Again, Salman Khan has great chemistry with people. It's like, he's great with Katrina, he's great with SRK. Oh my God. But I even love the little inside joke where he throws that little, I don't know what, transistor thing, a bomb, and had the little song from Pathaan on it. And then like later he's like, why do you always play that song?
He's like, I need a playlist.
It's so funny. And I love this actually a song from Pathaan dance sequence. Like, why would this? It was so funny. So that was, to me, the smartest, savviest. It was its own little short film. It could have just been its own little film. It was so good. So that, and then we're talking spoilers, but then I say that, and sadly, not that the film isn't good, but the two cameos completely overwhelmed it to me. Like the end post-credit ending also cameo.
Yeah. I was my God. I was waiting for Hrithik the entire time. I mean, there could have been moments where Hrithik came in for 5 or 10 minutes or something, but I had a feeling it was just going to be an end credit.
Yeah.
So they had the big song, as same as in the second Tiger film. Yeah. The big dance song was the end credit. Yeah. Same here. And I mean, people in my theater left, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, people? You guys. And I did say in my spoiler-free review, like, you got to stay all the way.
And they tease you. They tease you pretty good because you think the song is the exit. And people were walking past me in front. I'm like, post-credit ending, people, post-credit ending. And they were kind of like, and I saw they were still going, but then they kind of stopped at the exit going, did they say for it? So they waited. And then here's the song goes off and it's just black for a long time. And I'm like, maybe that was the ending. And if you hadn't told me, I would have been like, I think they're supposed to be. Yeah. And then it came in. I texted
Kathy. I'm like, you gotta stay. You gotta stay.
I know. Then I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? I'm like, please let me Hrithik. Please let it. And I'm like, did they fake us out with the whole, was Hrithik Roshan like a total misdirect? But it wasn't. And the minute they show, I'm like, just a little bit of sliver in that eye. And you're like, it's him. I totally flipped out. I'm like, ah! And people are like, what's wrong with her? Jeez.
I mean, it looks pretty dark. I mean, it looks pretty dark.
It does. And it was a special shoot, so they did their own shoot with him. It had nothing to do with the movie. It looks like they did it later, and they just did a big shoot. Him killing a bunch of people in an alley effortlessly, of course.
Yeah.
But of the universe movies, I still love war. It still rates super high for me. Like,
absolutely,
I would say, fortunately, it was one of the first movies I watched when I started on my Indian film journey. So I got to see a really good one, and it sounds like it won't be good. War looks like a big stupid action movie. two hot dudes, whatever. You know, and I watch it and I go, holy shit, this is amazing. And I think it also rates super high because it had a twist I did not see coming.
Yeah.
Super complicated, insane twist.
Well,
so that movie probably rates one of the highest of all of them.
Well, and not only that, I mean, you didn't know when you were first watching it, but these are two of the most accomplished dancers in Hindi cinema. To have them do dance number together was incredible. Okay, that was right there. Oh my gosh. And Tiger's entry scene, where he is just decimating an entire room of people with no weapons.
Yeah.
And his very athletic, you know, let me do some backflips kind of way. Like, it's so epic. Good.
His entry scene and Hrithik Roshan's entry scene. Hrithik's scene when he goes, I can't even talk. I'm just thinking about it. Yeah. That scene still stuns me. Like when people say, what's a good indie movie? I'm like, take a look at this scene. Let me know what you think. And people are like, what the? I know. And everybody in the scene with them. Everybody in the scene with them was like, what? So good. So that was fantastic. Yeah. And all these films, what I like too, is that they all have a sense of humor. Yeah. Again, they're very sincerely over the top. They're super over the top. They're aware of it. And they're like, we're having fun here, people. Aren't you? You know, there's nothing taking anything too seriously. No one's, you know, doing any death defying, you know, real life jumps off of it.
I mean, I will say that this movie had deaths that made an impact that I was literally going, oh, you know, in the theater. Right. I mean, when certain of his team members are killed, when you find out that Syed was, you know, actually, you know, the mole inside their team and whatever. Yeah. And especially Hassan deciding to blow himself up. I'm like,
I had issue with that. Yeah. I feel like in Tiger 2, we meet this little kid and they rescue him. And it's a great scene where Tiger's kind of just off to the side looking and he notices the kid and he recognizes, like, you know, thin slicing that the kid has probably got a bond. Like he totally recognized all the behavior. So he went and grabbed him and saved his life. And then they kind of adopted him. You know, he was in the last scene.
I mean, when we saw the family together in Austria, I'm like, where's the other kid?
I know, I did too. I'm like, wait,
where's the other kid? Where'd he go?
And then he had a great little reveal, like through the thing where then he goes to visit him. And it was great to see him. They're sort of practicing their little like spy thing. I thought it was unnecessarily kind of cruel to make him end his life like that. I just thought that did not seem like a good twist at all. I didn't like that they made him do that.
Why couldn't he just run in there and throw? Why did he have to blow himself up? Throw a hand grenade. You got him all over your. Just throw one.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought that was really unnecessary. I did not like it at all. So that was a low point for me to do. I felt like it was a cheap shot, and didn't like it because I feel like they ruined a really good plot, nice little gentle. Nice plot twist in the second movie and made it kind of ugly and gross. So, and I also didn't like and also the whole movie is pretty bloodless. Lots of killing. You don't see any blood at all. But the one scene is the killing of the one of their guys, one of the crew.
Karan with the
Karan. Yes, I thought that was unnecessarily gross. All of a sudden in a movie that didn't have anything, and then they show them laying in this pool of blood, and I thought. That long, slow, like, why didn't he just shoot him? What the fuck? Why did we decide to do this? So I didn't really like that. There were a few little missteps I thought were kind of out of step with what I felt like was the tone of the film. I get that they wanted to have some, you know, sacrificial.
I mean, I guess again, they're like showing that Emraan is really his evil character is a terrorist. So,
and I think we got that.
Yeah, I mean let's just say a word about our villain. You know, Emraan, I thought was really good as the villain. Because again, you got to go up against Salman, you got to go up against Katrina, right? So you have to have some heft to you, and I felt like he did a really good job. Playing the villain. And I will also say Revati plays the new head of Raw, the new spy master. And I know her more from Tamil and Malayalam cinema, so I don't know if she was kind of a new face, although people were posting on Twitter that evidently she was a romantic interest for Salman in a very early film that I have not ever seen, and I'm like,
interesting. Whole new depth to every scene they're in now.
But I thought she was so badass and in command. Like, not a ton of screen time. This is, you know, but made an impact. Really made an impact. Someone I want to see again in the next movie, you know, the next spy movie. So
she was great.
I thought she was really good. Like, we had to think about it. We had two badass women in this movie.
They did a great job with the women this movie. And that's why I was, you know, happy to see that. And I don't want to denigrate it too much because I thought it's a big fun action movie, mostly 99%. And I don't require that much from them. You know, I just want to have a good time and show me some great stunts. And they did that. They accomplished that. And, but on top, like the icing on the cake is they had this incredibly great female character. So I love that too. It's like, and their relationship is so complicated too. I like that.
But are we ready for the love of God? For the love of all that's holy, can please give Katrina her own freaking movie.
Why can't she be in her own movie? You're right. Why can't there be a Katrina movie in the universe?
At least this movie did start with her backstory. I immediately knew,
that was cool.
I immediately knew this is her, right?
Oh, okay. The young girl.
The young girl. I was pretty confident from the beginning that we were seeing her backstory.
Yeah.
But I'm like, and you know, you think about how could we raise the stakes from the second movie? Okay, we're going to save the entire democracy of the country.
That's all.
Okay,
freedom and democracy, people.
Right. And I was also texting Kathy. I was just like, if somebody stole the codes, don't you think you just change the codes?
Change the codes. I mean, they change them every day, don't they? Isn't that technically what you're supposed to do?
I was just like okay,
we have the codes, and they type them in just like my password. Type them in and go. Damn it! I updated and I don't remember. It's like, come on, man. Yeah, that was kind of funny. Also, everyone
it's just the MacGuffin, right? Like, I mean, you know,
that's true. And also, everyone is the worst shot. There were people. I mean, they're doing automatic weapons things, and they're firing multiple. They could not hit anyone. And there was a fight between Salman and Emraan. His name's Emraan, right?
Emraan.
And they're fighting literally right in front of each other, and he was shooting him right at his feet. I'm like, dude, why aren't you shooting him in the face? Why are you shooting at his feet? He had this automatic weapon. I'm like, what the hell? So none of these people were good shots. That's why the movie lasted almost 3 hours, because no one could get killed.
I mean,
bullets don't affect anyone.
It was long. I don't know exactly what I would cut, but I mean, I suppose they're wanting audiences to feel like they got their money's worth, but come on.
It was a long.
It's a little long.
It needed a little tighter edit, I think. We could have done with that. Some of the fights got a little repetitive and generic with not really high stakes. I feel like there was kind of a couple unnecessary kind of fight scenes. I mean, I feel like the whole scene inside the Enclave, there was so much excess of running through hallways and trying to like get through. We didn't need all that. And then and again, like maybe just some repetitive fighting. But I think they just should have had a big, long scene with SRK and then a couple things at the end and you're done. Because he was so good. I love him in that. It's so good.
Well, and of course, they left us excited and wanting more to see what Hrithik's next movie is going to be. I mean,
how does that going to work in this universe? Like, I'm trying to think, because when I saw War, I don't think it was really a universe yet, right?
I don't think it was. Yeah.
And so then they had Tiger, and that still, I didn't see the connection to War in that either exactly.
I mean, I think it's just he's another spy. He's going to have his own separate mission, right?
Okay, so they'll just have him be a spy.
I mean, the question is, who will cameo? You know?
They better all cameo. It's only they all need a cameo.
If they're listening to us and they want to give us what we want, then that's what's going to happen.
What we want is Salman Khan spying on his wife, having an affair with Hrithik. That would be the perfect, because if she's going to have an affair, what other spy would there be? He would be the perfect one.
Well, let's not forget Bang Bang. Oh, yeah.
That's true. Oh, my God. I forgot about that. That's right. They have proven themselves perfectly capable of having an affair. That movie was so funny.
So I agree with you. I don't know if when War came out, they completely thought of tying all these universes together. So, you know, I don't know what will be, you know, the question is what cameo, the next big film.
Tiger.
Well, the next big.
Tiger's dead though, right? I don't know.
No. Well, the next.
I got confused by that ending.
Tiger Shroff.
Who died at the end?
We're talking Tiger the character. Or
I know Tiger Shroff. Oh yeah, Tiger Shroff in Tiger would be amazing. But I think one of them got killed in War. I don't remember who it was because everyone was very confused. I'm not sure who died or who didn't.
It was like face up.
I know. I'm like, which one's which?
But the next big film for Hrithik is Fight. I think if the title is Fighter, it's the one about fighter pilots. With Deepika Padukone. So I don't know how long we're going to have to wait for War 2. I mean, it could be a year from now, for all I know.
I could really use the War 2.
Yeah, but we're ready. We're ready. We're waiting.
Bring it on, and let's have some cameos.
I know, but I was explaining to Mark how I had to stay all the way. I said they're copying from Marvel. He's like,
isn't everyone? I mean, just make it a universe, and people will feel more connected. All the movies are totally separate.
I mean, I do admit, what are we saying were our favorite parts of both Pathaan and this film? The cameos.
Cameos.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, making it a connected universe, even just that much, is worth it.
That's right.
Because that is the best part of both of the films this year, was when Salman and Shah Rukh were together on screen. It was magic.
I mean, knowing that SRK was in this movie and knowing there was a possibility of Horrific at the end, that is why I went. I mean, fan service is fan service because it freaking works. So I will take it. Give me the fan service right now. And you know, it's about time the Hrithik had his own movie again, because he's been in some kind of artsy movies he does not look hot in. I don't want to see those. I want to see the ones where he looks hot. Come on, you guys.
Go back to the gym. Get it on.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he looked awful in Vikram Vedha. He looked awful in that school teacher one. I didn't even recognize him. I'm like, you guys, this is not his strength. I know he wants to be taken seriously as an actor, but come on. Okay, everybody's going to be writing all such terrible things in the comments about my terrible exploitive talk about her.
And give Katrina her own freaking movie.
Give Katrina her own movie. You're right. They should give her own movie. Come on.
Tiger can cameo in it.
Yeah, Tiger could be in it, and then Tiger, they could have Tiger, or they could all have a really fun. I think Tiger Shroff can be off in the background watching Katrina and Hrithik and being very jealous.
All right.
I
told you, Kathy, that of the movies that I saw this Diwali weekend, Jigar Tanda XX was my favorite of this weekend. But this one is definitely very fun, and one that I would recommend seeing on the big screen. You know, so tell your friends. Obviously, if you watched all the way to here, you've already seen it. But it's one to say to your friends, yes, it's worth it to see in the big screen. To not wait and watch it on a small screen.
That's right.
It's not going to have the same impact.
It's not. It's not. See it on the big screen. It's worth it just for the SRK scene alone.
It is.
And it's worth it because it's a very long scene, so you don't get like this little quickie. And you know what's funny? I know we're trying to sign up, but you were talking about how, when is he going to come on screen? I kept thinking that through the movie. What would be the way? And I go, he's got to rescue him at some point. And the whole movie is playing out. I'm like, well, there's not really a rescue yet. And then when he's in jail, I'm like, possible. Then he gets out anyway. And I'm like, oh, when is... And every time they show someone from the back in silhouette, I'm like, is that him? No, it's not him. When they showed a lot of that. And then there he was. And when that little thing threw and played the song, I'm like, yay! Very happy. Fun. Yeah. So thank you for joining me for the Tiger 3 extravaganza. It was amazing and fun. And yes, it had a few problems that we disagreed with, but that still was a fun time at the movie theater. And we saw some great and stay for the post-credit ending. Seriously, people. Stay. Don't leave. And you should watch the credits anyway. These poor people work hard. Stay and watch the credits.
Yep.
Okay. All right. See you later. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment to Pardesi Reviews. And let us know what you think of Tiger 3.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.